What's going on, Jerome's? Another raw, real rant from the garage. It's pretty blatantly obvious that the Vikings are in on quarterback in this draft. It's one of the worst kept secrets out there, but you have to remember this is peak BS season and nothing leaks for a reason. And Kwesi is very calculated. Like every single word that he says, every word he says, everything he does, it's calculated for effect. And that's something where I really dig about Kwesi because there's always something there. There's always a game. He's always playing, 4D underwater chess with every single move. So it's not an accident that it's clear that the Vikings are in on quarterback, with them blatantly meeting with the quarterbacks at the combine, bringing in a guy like Tanner McKee in the top 30, being at some of these quarterbacks pro days and also in person, and not extending Kirk Cousins. Talk about, we believe in Kirk this year, So it's very easy for the media and the pundits and fans to connect the dots that, hey, the Vikings are going to be in on quarterback. But is it an Occam's razor situation where the simplest answer is likely the right one, where yes, the Vikings are in on quarterback? Or is Kwesi playing games? Quit playing games with my heart. Is Kwesi just like, obviously if the right quarterback is there, and we're going to evaluate all of them, and we're going to do our due diligence because that is our job. But if the right one is there, we'll take him. But we also want the added benefit of everyone thinking that we're going to go quarterback at 23 or 87. And maybe they'll drum up some trade market ahead of us because, hey, maybe we are on quarterbacks, but maybe we're not. But maybe we're more interested in a class that is which is basically regarded to have about 20 first-round talents. Is like, hey, we're at 23. If we can find a way to gin up a market where a team who's interested in a Levis or interested in a Hendon Hooker trade up ahead of us at 23 because of how math works, beep, bop, 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 boop. If an extra quarterback goes ahead of us, that's one less position guy, or that's one more position guy that's going to be available, right? So whether it's maybe Joey Porter Jr. slides on down, maybe a guy like Jackson Smith-Njigba, maybe he slides on down, and maybe ultimately those are the type of guys that are at the top of the Vikings draft board, even ahead of a quarterback like Levis or Hooker, and maybe just playing the game. And to a smaller degree, maybe even in the third round as well. And maybe it's a spot where a guy like Tanner McKee or Dorian Thompson-Robinson are there, and the Vikings get leapfrog. Or if they're there, they'll stick and pick. I don't know. It's just, at a certain point, it is just so blatantly obvious that the Vikings are in on quarterback. And it's so obvious so that it feels like a trap, especially during peak BS season where the Vikings have not refuted that they're not in on quarterback. They haven't confirmed it nor denied it, but all the tea leaves, show that it's very true. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit skeptical, but all of the anonymous scouts, all the anonymous executives, all of this, that, and the other thing, hey, the Vikings are in on quarterback. Maybe they'll trade up to the top 10. Maybe there'll be a dark horse to trade up to 3. All that stuff. So I hope that it's true because I'm a big believer in basically drafting a quarterback every year or every other year because it's the most important position in all of team sports. Hell, quarterback 2 might be the most important position on the team as shown by the Niners last season. But I hope they're in on quarterback, but also it would be hilarious if Kwesi's bluffing with his muffin and just playing the game a little bit. And I just love the strategery, all the nonsense that goes into draft season, man. But anyways, that's it. Raw, real rant. Are the Vikings in on a quarterback? Skull, no production value.